Okay, this is your fifth topic for Algebra 2. We're going to start talking about something called composition. We're going to just do numbers first. Composition leads into the final topic of inverse. Okay, so go ahead and copy this into your notebooks. I'll give you some time. This is your title, composition, and you don't have to put numbers here. We're going to do composition of functions next, probably next week. So just go ahead and put composition with the 5, and we'll do 3 examples for this one. Okay, a little bit of notation. This is what it looks like. F parentheses G parentheses, you'll have a number, and then since there's 2 letters, we have 2 parentheses. The main thing with this is you're going to start from the inside out. So you would start with, in this case, the G. These these letters can be switched. So it just depends what comes first. Okay, so go ahead and copy this. Copy the first example as well. Make sure that you put the right order and you put the right functions here. Okay, go ahead and copy that. Okay, so for the first example, we're going to start from the inside out. So the inside is this G of 2. The 2 is on the inside, so we look at the one right next to it, which is G. So we're going to start with G of 2. So start with G of 2. Okay, this should kind of give you a heads up on which function we're going to use first. Okay, so notice that I went ahead and put G of 2 is equal to, oh, okay, sorry about that. The intercom just went off, so disregard that. Anyway, so you have G of 2, and we're going to look at the G of x function because we're just matching the letters, G and the G. So I pointed the arrow to here because this is the function that I'm going to plug that 2 in. Okay, at this point, you guys should already know how to do this simple step. This is just evaluating a number given a function. So we plug in 2, where we have an x, and 2 squared. Right here, it's just going to be equal to 4. So the first part of this is just going to be a 4. Okay, we're still not done. We have 2 letters, which means we have to kind of do 2 steps. Okay, so this is the first one. Now we're going to plug in this 4, because that's our answer on the inside, into f of x. So it's kind of like this. Let me kind of draw a little picture here. So this goes into here. Okay, and then after that it goes into f. So it's like a double substitution problem. Okay, so f of 4, we're going to look at our f of x function for that. F of 4, in this case, f of x is just x plus 1. There's my x, so all I have to do is take that 4, plug it in, and 4 plus 1 is just 5. Okay, so the answer for this one is 5. The correct notation, you go all the way back to the beginning, and you write f of g of, this should be a 4. Oh, I'm sorry, not a 4. That's right how it is. Except this should be a 2, that's what we started with. So f of g of 2 is equal to 5, and that is the answer. And again, just how I showed you in the previous screen, that's 2. Take this number, plug it into g, take the whole number, and then plug it back into f. So in this case, f of g of 2 is equal to 5. Okay, go ahead and do 2 more examples. Go ahead and copy this first, and then I will explain in a little bit. So I'll probably pause here. Okay, so this time we have f of g of negative 3, if f of x is equal to x plus 2, and g of x is equal to 4x. So we're first going to go ahead and do this inside part, g of negative 3, and that's what you have right here first, g of negative 3. So I'm going to look at g of x. So instead of my x here, I'm going to put that negative 3. So 4 times negative 3 is just equal to negative times a positive. It's going to give me a negative number, so it's just going to be negative 12. So we have negative 12 here. Okay. Second, now that I finished with this part right here, I'm going to plug it into f. So now here's the second substitution. This number is going to go into f of x now. Okay, so I'm going to look at f of x, and it's x plus 2. So instead of x, I put negative 12 plus 2, and that is something simple. They have different signs, so you subtract. 12 minus 2 is just 10. Since 12 is negative and it's bigger, this is also negative, so we have negative 10, and that is our answer because we only have two letters, so we should only have two steps. Okay, so answer f of g of negative 3 is equal to negative 10. And again, this is the correct notation for your final answer. Okay, so go ahead and copy all this down. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I will stop and clarify. Okay, we have one more example. It says, given h of x equals 2x, g of x equals x minus 1. You can't see it. Let me make it a little bit darker. And f of x equals x squared. See, there's a few extra things on this one. We have three functions, first of all. Okay, so h, g, and f. And if you look at what we're looking for g of h of f of 3. So you kind of have three steps in this one. I'm going to walk you through it. Please ask me questions if you have them, and go ahead and copy this down. Okay, so the first step, again, we start on the inside, and this time the part that's inside is actually f. So if you look at the number, f is the first one. So we're going to plug this one into our f of x function, so into this one. So right here we have f of 3 equals parentheses 3 parentheses square, and 3 squared is just 3 times 3, which is 9. Okay, so that's your first step. Notice you have three letters, so you're probably going to have three steps in this one. Okay, next slide. So there's my 9. My second step, now that I have 9, so this whole thing right here, sorry about that, it should be a perfect circle, but this whole thing is now 9. So I'm going to plug 9 into the next one, into h. Okay, so h of 9, I look at my h function, it's right here, 2x, 2 times 9. So wherever I have an x, I'm going to put that 9. And this is an easy calculation. 2 times 9 is just 18. Okay, and we're almost done. We've taken care of the h, but we still have that g to worry about. So that's the last step. Please stop me if I'm going too fast. Notice this video is already close to 10 minutes. It's not that long of a video. Okay, last step is the third step, and we have g of 18 because that is the last one. So we've already taken care of the f, we've already taken care of the h, and this whole thing here came out to 18. So the last step is to plug this 18 into g. Okay, so we look at our g of x, which is this right here, and say this is just x minus 1. So where I have an x, I put an 18. 18 minus 1 is just 17. And we're out of letters, so we're pretty much done. We just have to write it correctly. So in the last slide is the answer. G of h of f of 3 is equal to 17, and that is your final answer. Okay, today we're only doing numerical composition, so if you have questions, please let me know. The next topic will be a little bit more difficult, so make sure you understand this topic. Go ahead and get started on your assignment.